Hey, it's Robert Jean here in my kitchen. So I just got off of a call with my mentor, level one mentor group, and one of the questions that they ask, like, why is it I keep experiencing the same stuff over and over again? Why am I still redoing the same relationship, having the same problem, doing all this repeating the cycle. And so one of the things is knowing how your life works. Unfortunately, we're born in the world and we have people in our life who don't know what they're doing, and they don't know how to raise you, or how to interact with you, or how to treat you, and they don't know why they do what they do either. So one of the things is when I started working not only on myself but also helping other people, is discovering how to solve the riddle of our emotional craziness, and that is knowing how to drive your own life, how to drive your own mind. So somebody says, how to relieve from nose allergy with EFT. Well, I use FasterEFT. It's faster. How to relieve allergies. Well, the interesting thing about allergies, since you mentioned it, there are different things about allergies that do occur. Some people have allergic response and other people don't. Some people said, I had horrible allergies until I divorced, and then the allergies went away. Or I had allergies when I moved to a new place. Well, the interesting thing about how our brains work is that it will link things together neurologically in your unconsciousness, and your mind will start responding physically, and it'll give you what you call an allergy. And so allergies is, there's a lot of things involved with this, and you can change the allergies. One of the things that we do is we use, we call it the art of change, the structure and how you create what you do. And in that way, your brain will naturally change it by itself. Because see, the weird thing is, it's like somebody said, well, I have SADs, seasonal affective disorder, which basically means, in the wintertime or summertime or springtime, they get severely depressed, they feel really bad, they get suicidal. And every person I ever worked with who had, quote unquote, the disorder, which, by the way, the disorder, it just showed up when they were 25, or they showed up when they were 45, or they showed up when they were 7. You go back to history, and this is how the brain really works. It's like, and another woman too, with it's super depressed when wintertime comes. And what the brain does is, so when you're let's say, for example, you're moving and you have a lot of emotional stresses and traumas, and maybe you're, this crazy thing, I hope it's working now. Anyway, the unconscious will link these emotions that you're feeling currently, and it will link it to a location, a place, a smell, a flavor. It could be anything. Like this one lady, for example, she had allergic reactions, severe allergic reactions to gluten. Well, the weird thing is it showed up in her later life. Well, we started actually working and talking about it, come to find out that her happy memories, where her and her mother would go to the mall and go shopping, and they would stop, they would have a cup of tea and a cinnamon bun, a little sweet cinnamon, the wheat. And then they'd also have other happy memories. And so when mother died, she goes home and she's sitting at the table and she's crying, she's eating crackers, another gluten. And all of a sudden, not over a sudden, over a period of time, and then her father died, she too was eating gluten. All of a sudden her brain linked the pain, the emotional stuff, to the gluten, or to the wheat. And then now all of a sudden she has this gluten reaction. Once she went and changed the memories associated to the death of mom and the death of her father, and kept the happy, good feelings and the memories of experiencing mom, all of a sudden the gluten allergies disappear. So allergies has a weirdness to it. And by the way, who is driving the allergy program? Not you consciously. You don't even understand why you have it. You just think there's something mechanical with your body, with your chemistry, with the environment, and yet other people don't have the same problem. And the reason is because your brain has what we call it brain pain, or brain amplification, which basically will take something and make it 10 times worse in your unconscious. And so knowing how to drive your unconscious and to shift your physical reaction, the emotional reactions to and from either the seasonal affective disorder or the course. And it says, do you provide a course for EFT, a time period? It will be certified as a practitioner after that course. How do you relieve? All right. So yes, I do have a training course. Now again, I teach FasterEFT and eutaptics training system. There's a major difference in EFT and FasterEFT. FasterEFT is more comprehensive. EFT works. The problem with EFT is anybody can train it. You can be trained by anybody and their dog because there's no standardization. Now, there's a lot of people who will have their own training system. And the difference between FasterEFT and EFT is the model of thinking. The EFT model is the cause of all problem is an energy problem, a blockage in your energy system. And my system says the cause of all problems starts at birth. And then from that, you start creating problems by learning. Now there's another question here. Yes, there is an online course. I do have an online course. I will post a link here after I get done with this video, and you can see that I do. And you can learn more about that. So yes, I do have a certification course. Now, this is a real certification course. This is not a fly-by-night certification course. There's a lot of work involved. And when you're done, you'll be really good. Level 1 is teaching you how to change yourself, because one of the things I realized from my EFT trainings and understandings and also healing modalities, individuals who are coming to a healing modality needs to be worked on and solve their own personal health issues and emotional issues. And if you don't do that, then you'll just perpetuate your own problems because you're dealing with other people. But yes, we do have a training. You can go, I'll post a link here when I'm done. So anyway, so go back to seasonal affective disorder, the two people, which is an allergy or an emotional reaction. It's not a disorder. It's a processing of information, one of which the person had, her mother died. You know, her mother died the day of Christmas morning, actually. And another one was Christmas is always bad because there's nothing emotional trauma, drunk dad, fights, etc. And another one is that she was actually sexually abused during that time period, and she ran from her house, from the other house, and it was snowing. And these are all emotional conditions. It's not a disorder. It's an unconscious mind waving a red flag saying, you've got something you need to address. Now, the weird thing about our unconscious mind is knowing how to change you. Because see, the weird thing is that this information comes into our mind. Our brain will organize this data. We call it the basically 5 types of memory, and we call one piece called the organizer, the programmer. We call it the hypnotist. We call it that piece of us. Now, there's a part of the mind mechanically. There's the amygdala, hippocampus, you got the cortex, and what happens, it records it, it links it, and it puts it in the unconscious. Now, the weird thing is a lot of people think, well, the amygdala, hippocampus, and all these pieces working together is only for stress, but it's not just for stress. It's for love, it's good feelings, bad feelings, it's automatic programming, and your unconscious will do it. And some people will say, well, the amygdala is hijacking your life. It means you're no longer conscious, you act out, and you don't even know why. This piece is built from memories of that your brain had captured and linked emotions and feelings, and next thing you know, you got an allergy, you got some kind of weird disorder called a seasonal affective disorder, which is not a disorder. It's a coping protective mechanism built from your unconscious mind. Knowing how to change the mind, you can change everything about your life. Some of you may have already seen some of the videos that I have here on my channel. These are real people who had lots of real problems, and we're talking about nurses, we're talking about doctors, psychologists, normal everyday other people. So again, this works, and it works at the deepest level, and that's where the core is, which is your unconscious mind and how it operates. So knowing how to work that. So in order to drive your own mind, you got to know how it works, know the mechanics of it, knowing what it is that you do, and knowing how to shift and change it. This is neuroplasticity 101. This is direct mindfulness. because because a lot of there's a lot of programs out there on neuroplasticity and teaching you neural ways of coping, but the typical way that they're doing is not changing the cause, but also diverting your mind consciously to relaxation and breathing. If you don't change the memory, you're not creating a neural shift and change, because when things fire together, they wire together, and what you want to do is rewire yourself. Now, logically, that makes sense. Mechanically, how do you do it? That's what you're going to learn. That's what I teach. Mindfulness, direct mindfulness, and definitely neuroplasticity, and also changing your world today, not 30 years from now. And it's actually, you can create a major shift in your mind within not only minutes, but seconds in some cases with this training system. So how do you do this? First of all, understanding the mechanics of the mind, how the mind works. Now we have what you call a foundation in which we operate from, and that's this. Everyone operates from a presumed truth. So we call it an outline in which you always think from, which means, like, there's lots of belief systems out there. Without stepping on any toes, I'm going to try to figure out one. There's a lot of teachings out there why you have problems. Why do you have problems? Well, it's blocked energy. All right. So how do you know? So the mindset is you got to unblock your energy. So that means you may need to go to, put some electrodes on you, or smell the energy and the vibration of oils, or do a Reiki energy healing or a clearing. Now the problem is that it angles from a point of view. If you have a belief system and understanding that the reason why you have problems is because past lives. It means in your past life you were not so good, and now you're here trying to burn off some of that and clean it up. Those are beliefs. So then they're going to try to figure out how to change this. I don't believe either one of those. But what my belief system says this: the reason why I have problems is, first of all, problems are successful outcomes. That means you're not broken, there's nothing wrong. And secondly, a problem is successfully created from your recordings of your life. Your brain will use its information and manifest today the problem. In order to change a problem, you got to understand that memories are not real. Now, they seem real when you think of them, but it's thinking of something that happened 10 years ago, 20 years ago. You know you're not there, but it feels real today because your brain and your hippocampus and your whole system is making it real today because you're physically feeling this. If you change how you represent the memory inside yourself now, not only neurologically things shift, but your body shifts, and memories are not real. And then the act of visiting a memory, you actually adjust the memory without even knowing you are. Because again, the intention of going to the memory, when you visit the memory, as you visit the memory, depending on what you feel, what you think at the time, makes adjustments to the memory without thinking. I work with exercise we do in class where you can take a memory, you can amplify the memory and change the meaning or dissipate the memory. So give me a thumbs up if you understand what I'm saying or it sounds good to you. The next thing is, what we want to do is understand the mechanics of it, but also what you presume to be true. The past is over and it doesn't exist. Memories are not real. They're just programs installed into your mental computer, which means everything inside your memory, every vision, every person, every emotion, every act is yourself. Very good. So everything inside you is you. That means if you have a memory of watching your mother yell at your dad or your mother fighting with your dad, these are you now. It's not your mom, it's not your dad. This memory is a program for you to operate and to entertain yourself with or torment yourself. So you're the mom, you're the dad inside your brain. If you change the memory of your brain, inside your brain, it doesn't change what originally happened. It only changes the program and what you do to you. If you understand that one, you can free yourself from a lot of emotional programming. Your amygdala will not hijack your life. You've got to change your thinking and changing what you hold inside you. Now, this is direct mindfulness, directly creating consciousness and awareness right now is real. That's in the past. When you have people who show up, things happen and you feel bad right now, that is from your past. Change it, you direct mindfulness, and then all of a sudden you're real, you know it's not true, and you have control. So how do you get control? Change your mind by changing your memories. Now there's 5 types of memories, and it's not just a visual memory. It could be a kinesthetic memory, an auditory memory, or taste and smell memory. Those how the brain operates. And you understand how it operates, you can create the life you want. Very simple, but knowing how to do that and get measurable changes. How to deal with procrastination. I always say if you have procrastination, just put it off and then just do what you need to do. Procrastination is a skill and a coping skill. The reason why you don't want to do it is there's a reason why. There's a fear, you're breaking the rules. There's an unconscious programming that says don't do it, you change it. Change the programming. And by the way, even though I have procrastination, love and accept myself will not probably do it. It could, but you really have to go to the programming of why it's important for you not to be doing it. Very important to understand. Your mind is in control. The deal is learning how to make peace with yourself and how to drive yourself from inside yourself. That's the key. So we do have like the lady asked earlier, said, do I have a training? Yes, I do have a training. I'll put a link here. Learn how to drive your own mind. The level 1 is how to change yourself. The reason is because this is my foundation of everything I do. When I make big physical, emotional, trauma shifts in somebody's life, is I use these basics. And knowing how to heal yourself and change yourself is paramount for your emotional health and well-being. Most people who come into the healing world, either psychotherapy, hypnotherapy, massage therapy, EFT, FasterEFT, eutaptics, they come because they need help. And so I thought, well, we just solve the problem and change it. So level 1 is how to change yourself, and it always give you the mechanics of the mind. And then level 2, we show you how to work on other people. So anyway, so I do have a seminar. This is February the 10th. I have a level 1 in Oklahoma in 7 days, next Saturday. Pack your bags, come, and we will change your life. I guarantee you that. Your life will never be the same as you use what we use. I'll put a link, level 1, Oklahoma. I'll make you a special deal. If you do buy the online level 1 course, you get $1,000 off for the training here in Oklahoma. You need both, and the mentoring program, you need that as well. Also going to Australia, and we've got some seminars in Adelaide and Brisbane this year in March and April. And then we got level 1 and 2 in Greece in May. Especially for you Europeans, you may want to figure out how to change yourself and get a leg up on a better life. And what else we got going on? We've been working on a new website, and we have a new training system that we're perfecting. And I have just finished the Heal Your Body course that I just did in Las Vegas. It's a good one, really, really good. Also working on our money course that we did. We've been doing money course for quite some time, working on that in the new level training system, which will be really, really nice and very helpful. And let's see, what else? Also, we got some seminars. We're going to do one in Vegas in August of this year, and I'm not for sure if we're going to do Heal Your Sexual Self or maybe another Heal Your Body. So that's another option. Also, people are asking me about another level 1 that couldn't make it this time. We may consider doing it maybe in Vegas again. So anyway, those of you who would like for me to come to your city, your state or country, send me an email, Robert@FasterEFT, or better yet, training@FasterEFT. Send training at FasterEFT. I'm going to do a lot more seminars here in the U.S. because it's home and it'll be easier for me. So anyway, I'm looking forward to this year. Last year was an amazing year, great successes, big amazing changes and testimonials. And I don't know about you, my life is a whole lot better. Been doing a lot of tapping and self-improving. So I'm going to let you go. Love yourself, like yourself, be kind to yourself, because what you do inside yourself, that means what you think and how you feel and what you do to yourself, will not only improve or harm yourself, but also what you practice inside you, you give to other people, your children, your partners, your family members. So be nice to you. This is Robert in Oklahoma. Talk to you later. Peace. See you guys. I will, I'm coming, you said come to Manchester, England. Listen, I'm coming to Europe. I'm coming to Greece. It's a maybe 50-pound flight, round trip, maybe a 100-pound trip from England to Manchester to Greece. The weather is good, the food's cheap, and it's a great warm environment. If I go to London, for example, you live in Manchester, you probably won't go to London because, one, it's going to be expensive, you have to travel, and it's just come to Greece. Smart move. Talk to you later. Cheers. I don't know how to stop this.